Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are group 6 that consists of me, Aisyah Nur Fitri binti Parman, together with my friend Nur Arisa Adriana, Siti Nur Balkis and Siti Nur Aida. So basically for our statistic group project, we are basically doing a research
on anxiety level of IIUM students during Arabic language classroom.
So therefore, we are highly required the participation from ICET and also TASL students. So basically, we already collected 30 respondents from ICET and also TASL students.
According to APA Dictionary of Psychology, anxiety can be defined as an emotion characterized by apprehension and somatic symptom of tension in which an individual anticipated impending danger, catastrophe, or misfortune. Horowitz 1986 suggested that foreign language anxiety comprises 3 components, which are communication apprehension, test anxiety, and fear of negative evaluation.
According to the past studies, basically from LetWiz 2018, he stated that there is no correlation and there is no relationship between the gender and also the level of anxiety in foreign language classroom. So that's why we would like to conduct a future research on this matter. Hence, our video will be discussing and explaining about our results. So stay tuned. Now we proceed to the objective of research. So the first objective is basically to determine the level of anxiety among Kuliah of Education IIUM students in Arabic language classroom. Second, to compare the level of anxiety between male and female among Kuliah of Education IIUM students in Arabic language classroom. Last but not least is basically we want to determine the correlation between the level of anxiety among Kuliah of Education IIUM students and their gender. Now we proceed to the research question. For the research question 1 is basically what is the level of anxiety among Kuliah of Education IIUM students in Arabic language classroom. For the second research question is basically is there any statistically differences between male and female in Arabic language classroom of IIUM? Third, we want to know the correlation between the level of anxiety and their gender.
That's all from me. Now I'll pass to the next presenter, Aida.
Thank you, Aisha, for presenting about the introduction, research objective and research question. I am Aida and I will be presenting about the hypothesis and the method. To begin with hypothesis, for the research question 2, the null hypothesis is there is no statistically significant difference in the anxiety level between male and female co-ed IIUM students in Arabic language classroom. And another hypothesis is there is a statistically significant difference in anxiety level between male and female co-ed IIUM students in Arabic language classrooms. Moving on to research question 3, the null hypothesis is there is no statistically significant correlation between anxiety level among co-ed IIUM students and their gender. And another hypothesis is there is a statistically significant correlation between anxiety level among co-ed IIUM students and their gender. Next, for the method part, the method that we use to collect data is quantitative approach. There are 33 questions involving foreign language classroom anxiety topic, and they use a 5 Likert scale as the answer method, which consists of strongly agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. We use Google Form as the platform for the survey because it is easy to spread and the result can be automatically transferred to Google Sheet, which will help us when we want to transfer it into Microsoft Excel. The target sample population for this survey are co-ed IIUM students, specifically Islamic education ICET and teaching Arabic language as second language TASL students. The target respondents are not more than 50, and the data collection procedure begins with each member promoting the Google form on their WhatsApp status and forwarding it to every group WhatsApp that we have. We also changed the Google Form link into a QR code in order to promote it physically to the ISET and TASO students who are in the co-ed building for one day. It takes us a week to successfully gain 30 respondents. That's all from me. Thank you.
Now I will pass to Alisa. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. Thank you Sister Aida for presentation on our hypothesis, method, sample population and data collection procedure. My name is Nur Arisa Adriana and I will be explaining on our data analysis. First, the software that we are using to analyze our data is the Statistical Package for the Social Sciences or IBM SPSS version 26. By using SPSS, we are able to assess and analyze our data and obtain our findings according to our research questions. For the first research question, which is to determine the level of anxiety among co-ed IIM students in Arabic language classroom, the total mean score is 2.7, which indicates that co-ed students' level of anxiety during Arabic language classroom is at a moderate level. This is because the total mean score is determined according to the 5 Likert scale and the score 2.7 is close to 3, which means it is neutral. For the second research question, by using t-test, the mode, mean and median scores clearly show differences and multiple modes for both male and female. The skewness and kurtosis for both variables is also not within the acceptable range, and the histogram is not bell-shaped. As for the PP plot, it can be seen in the figure for both male and female that the data is not normally distributed, as the data does not fall on the 45-degree diagonal line. All of this indicates that our data is not normally distributed and the sample does not represent the population. As for the homogeneity of variances thus, since the score is 0.002, in which it is smaller than P 0.05, which denote that the homogeneity of variances is not fulfilled and the sample does not represent the population. As for the third research question, using correlation, it was shown in the table for normality test that both variables, which are anxiety level for male and female, shows that the data are not normally distributed and the sample does not represent the population. Why? This is because the skewness and kurtosis for both male and female are not within the acceptable range, which is for skewness is -1 until 1 and for kurtosis is -3 until 3. Also, the QQ plot for both variables does not fall on the 45-degree diagonal line. As seen in the tables here, it is shown that there is no linear relationship between gender and anxiety level during Arabic language classroom. In short, it can be concluded that our data are not normally distributed and the sample does not represent the population. This is because the data achieved fail to fulfill the assumptions needed, and the homogeneity of variances also indicates that the data is not normally distributed and the sample does not represent the population. Thus, there is a need for future improvement for future studies so that the same problem won't occur anymore. How? I will pass on to Sister Balkis to explain for conclusion and suggestions for future studies.
Thank you Arisa. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Balkis and now I'll be presenting on the t-test and correlation result as well as the conclusion. So for the t-test score, since our previous results indicated that the data is not normally distributed, the sample does not represent the population and the assumption is not fulfilled. Hence, for the t-test score table above, we can only rate it according to the score that mentioned in the equal variance are not assumed. So the t-test indicated that there is no statistically significant difference between male and female students on their foreign language classroom anxiety score. Thus, the null hypothesis is, meanwhile, for the correlation, according to this correlation analysis, the correlation score indicated that there is no relationship between gender and anxiety. Moving on, among the limitations that we face during conducting the study is lack of participants, especially from male students. There is a huge difference in total number between male students and female students that end up causing the data to be not normally distributed and the sample does not represent the population. Hence, we are suggesting that future studies to include other students from other kuliah that also learn foreign language. We also suggest that foreign language other than Arabic to be chosen or studied so that the finding of the study can be referred to the similar past studies that are available. To conclude, the finding of this study does not meet the objective that have been decided and shows the need for another similar studies to be conducted in future soon. That's all from us. Thank you for your time and attention.